What up, First Free Student Ministries? Jeremy Krause here, working hard. Got a few texts to answer this week in our Statement of Faith series. We just finished in high school Christ's Return, and a couple questions came in. One was, can you explain Pre-Millenial a little more? And the second one was, during the Pre-Millenial reign, will there be sin? Just to make sure you guys know where we're coming from, this whole Doctrine series is anchored in Scripture, and we want to continue to ask the question, where stands it written? So, to try to give you a very brief but clear explanation of what the millennium is, our statement of faith holds that we view the end times with a view of pre-millennialism. Now, there are three views that people commonly hold. One is post-millennial view. This is that the 1,000 years is already finished from Revelation 20. There's an A-Millenial view. That means that we're in the middle of the millennium, and when Christ returns from heaven in glory, the millennium will be finished. And then there's what we hold in the EFCA, a pre-millennial view. This means that we think the millennium has yet to come. There's a couple reasons why we hold the pre-millennial view. One is that though the book of Revelation is very prophetic in genre and it uses symbolism to convey what's real, and it does include some very valid truths that include the battle of good versus evil, or the final victory of God over evil, or the new heaven and the new earth. And so it's in those readings that we view the intermediate kingdom called the millennium. We view that as the intermediate millennial kingdom as real. So that's how we do that. If you go to Revelation and you look at chapter 19, we read that there is Christ's return in Revelation 19. Then if you go on to chapter 20, you see that there's going to be this final judgment, the great white throne judgment. And then if you keep going on, you'll read that there's the establishment of the new heaven and the new earth. And so as we read these, they happen kind of sequentially, not kind of, but really sequentially. And in the middle of that, after Jesus' return and before final judgment, John writes about this 1,000 years, this millennium. And so it's in that 1,000 years where Satan, the dragon, is bound and shut and set and covered, and he can't can't go through the nations, causing controversy and causing people to doubt. He's bound for those 1,000 years. And so, when he's released, he leads a rebellion, and then Jesus wins, as we read in 20 verses 7 through 10. That's what the millennium reign is. Those are the common views of the millennium, and that was my explanation of it. And then regarding is there sin during the millennium reign, I think there can be. I have no reason to think there wouldn't be. I don't have any scripture outside of traditional verses that would explain all of our humanness is flawed and full of sin. So I have no reason to think that we would be any different during that millennium. I'm understanding that life will operate as normal and people will live as we live now. If those rules change, then perhaps the answer changes. But the best I can understand, the best I read Scripture right now, sin nature is still intact during that millennium reign prior to the final judgment. So, hey, I hope I've answered your questions. Love you all. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.